Okay, fellas, now look, I'll admit that there's a few more new faces in here than I was anticipating. But in my defense, I've had a great time signing players. Really enjoyed it. So let's get to know each other. Let's go around the room, introduce ourselves. I'm Aussie, I'm the manager.
Jarune, za tebe mi dijete diše, tu je važno samo jedno, nogomet i ništa više. Jarune.
Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Jarun on The Impossible Dream. It is Season 11 Episode 2 today and we will begin our Champions League campaign. I think it's away to Villarreal, but we'll check on that in just a second, those fixtures. And then we've got, before that I should say, we've got Rijeka in the league. Now, transfer window for us is still open, but for the rest of Europe has closed at September 3rd, and we have been very busy. Now, the players that have left, the only really new ones, Allmarket just gone off on loan to Bordeaux, and we'll see him again in just a second. The two major ones, though, Haim Raz has gone to West Brom, 2.8 million, so we almost doubled our money on him. No sell-ons, unfortunately, but which is maybe a shame given his transfer value. Ultimately, too many foreign players, so he paid the price. We have got players in to replace him, though, that aren't foreign. And the other one that's left, and I said this might happen, is Bertic. Only could get 9 million for him in the end. Turns out when someone is publicly unhappy and wants to leave the club, it's hard to get a fee. So we only got 9 million and no sell-on, but honestly, it's just good to get him out of the club too. He wasn't playing well, he was unhappy, and a sulking player is no use to anybody. So let's have a look at the players that we got in. Now, did we meet Wilson Alvarez last episode? I think we may have. Anyway, so he's here, defensive midfielder to sit in front of the back three in Europe. Let's hope he does a good job. The three new boys, Boris von Groningen. Now, what country do you think he's from? He's Croatian. Of course he is with a name like that. So we paid 7 point something for him. That was a minimum release fee. Now he's currently playing left back for us. His preferred foot's right, but he does have a good left foot. And I think, as we can all agree, a very good young player there. Only 18 years old, and very excited to see what he can do moving forward. We have signed John Jorgen Vasselard from Mold for 8.75 million, and this is him here. He is basically in to replace Raz in the squad, but he's not foreign. Again, he's 18. He's a wonder kid. We've got a very good fee to get him in, and there is a lot to like about him, isn't there? So mentally, for an 18-year-old, what a player he could be for us if he develops. So yeah, very excited for him. And the other one we got in is Steven Senna. That this was to replace Bertic. 5.25 million, I think, is an absolute steal for this guy. Very good. We can see finishing, first touch, just very well rounded. If there's one maybe slight issue, it's that perhaps he's more of a deep lying forward again. We do have a few of those, but yeah, model citizen as well. I just think we've got an absolute steal. Now the unfortunate thing, he's on 64 grand a week, as we can see there. Torres has a match highest earner clause in his contract, which is he's not willing to negotiate out, which doesn't surprise me. So he is now also on 64 grand a week, but I can deal with that, I think, because Torres is a good player and Cena is a very good player as well. So excellent work on that front, I think. Now there are some games to catch you up on. Yeah, let's go and do that first. And the first of the games as we got the season underway was against, if I check my notes, it was Variston. We fell behind in the first half, but Cinco pulled us level in first half stoppage time. So this was just a bit of a meh sort of performance. We weren't great, but we weren't terrible either. A draw was fair, and yeah, it's one of these where it could have gone either way, to be honest. I felt we were the better team, but we didn't really play. We weren't clinical in front of goal, essentially. So that was that. Next up, it was Bordeaux in the league. Now, this was a home game. Could we better in this one get our first league goal at our new stadium? And look out for Damien Allmarket in the opposition 11. That's right, he was starting in the top flight. Lacko gave us the lead before turning provider for Mazzoleni to make it 2-0. And Mazzoleni then played in Govia for his debut goal, before von Groningen crossed for Lacko to get our fourth. And the counter-attack was finished by Mazzoleni to make it 5-0. Bordeaux pulled one back, but it was cancelled out as Torres found Lacko for his hat-trick. only for Bordeaux to get a second before half-time. An own goal made it 7-2. And Siraj and Madzar came off the bench to combine for our 8th. So they are truly hopeless. They really, really were bad. And, I mean, they scored 2 wonderful goals, but, I mean, their defence was just, we picked them apart at will. And, yeah, it was very, very good to see. Van Groningen, Von Groningen, even at left back, made a decent start over there. Gavia, back from his international duty, played well. And we gave Alvarez a start in the middle of defence. He was okay. He was okay, nothing more than that. It's not really his position, I don't think. Next up, it was Gorica. We went ahead early when Von Groningen crossed for Govia. So it was fairly comfortable. It's about as comfortable as a 1-0 can be. You can see they had a little bit of a spasm at the end trying to get the equalising goal, which obviously made me a little bit nervous. But no, it was fine. It was a fairly controlled performance from us, and yeah, it was as good as we could. As good as a 1-0 could be, I'd say. Next up, it was Hajduk Split. We took a second half lead when Von Groningen picked out Zinko. And we got a second through Von Groningen's first for the club. So a little bit of a deflection on the Von Groningen goal, but he deserved it, and we deserved this win. We were absolutely dominant, which was great. They barely registered a shot, and yeah, again, just up front is where we're letting ourselves down a little bit, but outside of that, everyone was playing well, which was excellent. Final game to catch you up on in the league, of course, was against Osijek. We fell behind early. Von Groningen crossed for Govia to head us level. But we weren't level for long. And then Osijek got a third. Before Govia's effort was finished by Lacko. And Mazzoleni played in Govia to make it 3-3 at half-time. But we were behind again just after the break. So an absolute shambles at the back we were in this one. I ended up taking off Sanchez and Monsalvo. Pinta would have come off, except I ran out of subs because I was Angus subbing one at a time. And yeah, it was, we looked good. Okay, we look good going forward. Just defensively, absolute trash. All right, let's have a look at the league table after a few games now. And it's not going too badly, considering I don't feel like we've fully hit our stride yet. But we are top of the table, a point ahead of Rijeka, who we played today. And then just 2 points ahead of Dinamo and Osijek, with Variston and Hajduk all within a win of us. So yeah, it's been very, very interesting. Bordeaux, I would be surprised if they got a point all season. They are genuinely that bad. Dubrava, though, are proving to be a tough nut to crack for a lot of teams. Now, one other piece of quick, really good news is Govia did sign a contract extension. It's still 5 seasons. It doesn't change that much, except the 12 million release fee is now gone. So that is obviously, that is huge, because I think 12 million for him, he would have been snapped up very, very quickly. If not, I was almost surprised he didn't already get snapped up, to be honest. So that's all good. Let's have a quick look at these Champions League fixtures. And here they are here. So we do indeed, we start at home to Villarreal. I've got to say, it's not too bad. You take Real Madrid, who was a top, and Milan, they were the 2 pot 1 sides out of it. And, I mean, we should be able to beat them. We should be able to beat Copenhagen and Porto at home, I would have thought. And then we're just kind of looking for an extra point somewhere. So, yeah, I think as far as Champions League fixtures go, I'd almost go as far as to say that's quite soft. So we'll see. Milan are the defending champions as well, aren't they? Or they lose the final last year. I can't remember now. But anyway, they're a good team in this world. So let's go and see what we're doing. First game, though, it's the league game against Rijeka. And here we go. So we are expecting a 4-2-3-1 out of them. And this is the team that we are sending out. We try and get some match fitness into people, but I think that's just about okay. So Pinta goes in goal. Toninski, Skolobar, and Jakubuski will be the defense. Crespi is almost back from his injury, but just not quite yet. Kovacic and Kovacek will be the width. Now, Omorovic, I kind of forgot we signed him, to be honest, but we signed him in the transfer special, or the limited one. So he comes in for his first start next to Vazgard, and it might even be his first start. He has come off the bench. It might be his first start. Siraj, Sina on debut, and then Madzar. Sven, the Hungarian, will be up front as well. All right, so we can see the team sheets here. Do we recognize any names? Eze is... I can never remember if that's the Eze that's at Crystal Palace in real life or not. You've probably told me every time I ask as well. But anyway, we should be winning this match. Let's make sure we do. I did toy with the idea of sort of doing a Champions League doubleheader, but I thought we had so many new players, and so many of them that are making sort of in their first start in a lot of cases here. It'd be good to sort of have you guys watch that with me and sort of see how we go rather than just seeing the same players in the Champions League. So let me know what you think of the new signings, the sales as well. Haim Raz did nothing necessarily wrong. Like I say, it was just too many foreign players, and when Vazgard came up as an option, I was hoping I'd get a little bit more for Raz, to be honest, sort of closer to 5 million to more or less cover that transfer, but that didn't quite happen. But yeah, I felt like Vazgard is he's not left-footed, which is what Raz was, which is good. But I feel like Vazgard is probably a better player. He's a younger player, and it probably is a better signing for us anyway. Bertic, yeah, disappointed with the fee, like I said, but he was openly unhappy, and he was already making noise about running down his contract. So I just thought, let's just get what we can. Sort of get rid of that problem. So the other player who I was toying with the idea of getting rid of is Monsalvo, who's been kicking off a little bit. I mean, that's not great defense, boys. We might get saved by an offside flag, but I'm not convinced we will. No. And it is 1-0 to Rijeka, early doors. We've not defended well so far this season. I think Skolabar is maybe playing him on. And we've been doing like defensive work in training. Obviously, we have trying to... Skolabar's played him on. So I'm hoping it will clear things up. I just feel like generally we've always struggled defensively, haven't we? We were pretty solid last season. Now, but granted, this is probably the first time these guys have played together as a three. So, maybe not a complete surprise that we're going to concede a goal or two. The dressing room dynamics aren't too bad. They're at good, which is probably down to our meet and greet we did in the dressing room. Skolabar, you've got to go and win that, man. He's left us completely exposed at the back. And, okay, so I'm going to say something we're doing here is not quite working. So let's try... we can't drop off anymore. All right, let's just try trapping them on the outside and see if that works a little bit better for us. Ball in. It is up, not away. Pinter's there, though, and claims it. And on we go. Yeah, we sort of want to trap on the outside, this side, the inverted and the Roman Dirter, or whatever they're called. But this side, we kind of like to show them inside, because they're wing-backs and wingers. It's a bit of a weird formation they got going there, in truth. We've got more defending to do here. And this is not looking good. It's the crossbar that saved us initially, but not again. And I don't see there being an offside on that one. And I'm wondering if, there's indeed not an offside. The team talk of go out there and win or whatever I said. Oh, maybe it was close when that shot came in. Are we going to get a replay, I wonder? No. So we'll give it a no pressure. Try and take some of that pressure off of them. And we look a little bit like a team that's not played together before, which is probably not too surprising when you consider the team that's out there. Here we go now with Kovacic. No, bad touch. And... I mean, we saw this, it was last season, wasn't it, where we didn't get off to the greatest start in the league. And then we just kind of were able to grind out results. And then when we were out of Europe, we can just kind of put the foot down and get the title won. And they've gifted us a goal back. We'll take it. Gonzalo Carabali. And, let's hope that just settles us down a little bit. It was nice build-up play until that point. Cena was in there. There's a wrestler, Cena, isn't there? Is it Johnny Cena? But I think it's spelt differently, isn't it? That's probably more Steven Sinner, isn't it, than Cena. Anyway, let's encourage us. We do have options on the bench. Palumbo has handed in a transfer request as well. He wants to play more. And we haven't actually had a shot on target. Well, we have now. So, I think the pre-game thing said to be more direct. We might consider that as an option, second half. Let's see what we can do here. We go wide for Kovacic. Can he get a cross in at Cena? And he's the offside, he is. So we're not, yeah, we've certainly not seen the best of us so far, I would say. We've done okay in terms of possession, so I wonder if this is one you've been unlucky. Try and get some confidence going. And yeah, we didn't really get any more than that, did we? All right, so let's see what this team does to start things off, and then we can worry about making changes. We have not got a great deal of options on the bench, in truth. Let's try and encourage. All right, Omarovic was on a heavy match load, so we'll get Palumbo on for him. It may be the last time we see Palumbo, although with the window and the rest of Europe closed, he's unlikely to leave. The only place he might actually go, in truth, is Dinamo. They had a couple of fairly big transfers out, sort of £4 or £5 million, so they may have a bit of money and want to come in for him. Siraj is not having a good game. It's just not quite happening, is it? I need to think about this. Alright, so we're making some changes. We are bringing on Perso for Siraj. Palumbo is going to move further forward. Holt is going to come on and play down the left. And I think those are the two changes that we've made for now. We're also going to be higher tempo and just try and be more direct and see if that helps us at all. Yeah, like I say, we've not really been in the game. But, you know, if we get a goal, I mean, we don't really want a first loss in the new stadium, but it's certainly shaping up like it could go that way. Alright, let's make another change here. I'm looking at the way they're setting up and wondering if we could do without a centre-back here. Play you as... Alright, we can go with a ball-winning midfielder. Skolabar would then come off for Haska. And Haska would be the Mazzella. Alright, and let's see if that works for us at all. We'll try a berating and see if that's fired up one or two. But still no real signs of life here, is there? Let's try passing into space. Let's get the ball in. I mean, in terms of match stats, apart from sort of the XG, it's fairly even, but they've obviously created much better chances than we have. And we didn't even score our own goal. So that has been an unmitigated disaster. We will certainly lose top spot because they were behind us, weren't they? So, yeah, we just weren't quite there. So there we go. We are off the top. And, yeah, that's 2 games in a row now that we've lost, which is certainly not ideal. Still, though, you know, it's early days. It was, yeah, you can see there, it was the first appearance, first start for a lot of players as well. So I don't think it's panic stations, but there's, yeah, we either seem to be bad at the back or bad up front, or perhaps both in some games. So, yeah, anyway, let's hope we fix things. Of course, we've got Villarreal next. Champions League starts. Alright, welcome back. Let's get this Champions League campaign started. We are expecting a 4-3-3 out of them, and this is the team that we are sending out. So Pinta goes in goal, then we've got Sanchez, Monsalvo, and Butchman as the back three. Torres and Von Groningen are the width. Then we're going to have Alvarez in there in that role that we've signed him to play. Montel and Govia, we're going to try him a little bit deeper. It's partly an experiment just to see how well it works, but he's too good not to play, really. And then Mazzoleni and Lacco will lead the line. Crespi didn't end up making it, so we'll get another centre-back on the bench for him in Jakubutski. And I think the rest of that bench looks pretty okay to me. So let's go and do this. Alright, so we can see the team sheets. Do we recognise any names? I don't think so. Nathan Zizi in real life is quite a good player, isn't he? But I don't... we haven't sort of come across him before here. Put on a show. I think after that last one, we just need to... play without a bit of pressure, I think, because I do think a bit of the Rijeka problem was just that I think I put a bit too much pressure on them going into the game. So we'll try and back that off a little bit and see if that makes any difference. It is the first Champions League game, of course, at our new stadium, and it's always nice. When you have that stadium that's yours, even though the roof is rusty, you've only had it for a month. It's just nice. It's just nice to have your home ground be your home ground, no matter how crap it looks. I mean, to be fair, it didn't cost much to build, and I think we know why. I think we just built it from scraps we found around the city, if I'm honest. But anyway, oh, that's a nice touch. We've got a bar right across where the players should be. That's the sort of level of plan. It's like I planned and built the stadium, not a professional. Anyway, at some point, I will stop complaining about our new stadium. Alright, come on, boys, come on. I do wonder too, like, against Rijeka, we saw, well, maybe it didn't quite come across on the highlights, so I'm sure it did against Aussie. I'm wondering again now if the back three isn't quite working for us in the league. Because, yeah, we've looked not good, have we? We've got a corner to defend here, though. It's in, it's away. It's not quite away enough. And was it Pinta getting a tap over? No, it went over by itself. Well, 3-0 already. That's, I think they're Hungarian, aren't they? Getting a bit. Oh, they got a goal back. Nice for them. Anyway, focus on us. Here we go with Torres. To Montel, back to Torres. Torres floats one in. It's towards Von Groningen. He'll have another go. Nice ball for Goriva! And Goriva has himself a Champions League goal. And we're 1-0 up halfway through the first half. Very, very nicely done. Two of the new boys combining there. And, yeah, Sanchez picks it up. No one picked up Von Groningen and Govia. I said he's too good not to play. And there we go, Exhibit A. Even playing as a Mazzella. He can go and bang one in. Shouldn't need to add an L to his name, don't we? Golvia. He's certainly got a few to start things off. Lacko too. First month of the season was Player of the Month, League Player of the Month. So that's nice for him coming back from his injury. There we go now with Alvarez to Sanchez. Sanchez to Von Groningen. Good ball for Montel, bursting forward from midfield, and it's 2-0 on half an hour. Well, this is much more like it, isn't it? Alvarez just waited. Sanchez then to Von Groningen, and Montel, beautifully timed run, picked out for someone who's not usually playing at left back. Von Groningen's doing a pretty good job, isn't he? And he has himself 2 assists already. We have Villarreal though in possession now. Next goal is very, very important here, isn't it? That should be easily picked up. Torres goes back to Pinta. Butchman. And we come out from the back again. Monsalvo to Alvarez. To Montel. Montel to Torres. He's got some space in front of him. Can he whip across him? We don't have that much height in our strike force. Mazzoleni, was he offside? It was certainly close. Torres, though, into the middle. It's cleared away. And we keep the pressure on. Alvarez to Montel. Gavia's there. Gavia, look out for Von Groningen. Can he get a hat-trick of assists, I wonder? Nice ball for Lacko. He just might. Lacko's in. Lacko scores. Is he onside is going to be the question. And if he is, it's 3-0. Von Groningen's got all 3 assists. And it's disallowed. Perhaps fair enough. Lacko, yeah, he was quite a ways off in truth. Alright, that's okay though. We'll go and score again. Yeah, I mean, this sort of performance almost, it sort of confuses two things, doesn't it? A, what the hell were we doing against Rijeka? But B, take the pressure off. Let them play. Let us play without pressure. And we're quite a good side. So I might need to remember that when it comes to future league games. I think our next game in the league is versus Dinamo as well. So we may well, and then we've got the next Champions League game, and then there's a bit of a gap. So I think what we might do, don't get complacent here, is we might come straight back for the next one, see if that league team, quote unquote, can improve. Crespi should be back for that one as well. So we'll stick him in defence and see how he gets on. Let's see here. Butchman to Monsalvo. Sanchez. Oh, the other thing I've got to tell you is that we've got a new affiliate. It is another second-tier side. It's Karlovic or something. I can't remember now. We played them when we were in our promotion season. We played them, but they're professional. They're currently bottom. They're newly promoted, so we'll send them down some good players and hopefully keep them in that division, because the second tier side is just perfect to send our youngsters down to get that season to develop. All right, let's keep praising. And yeah, I mean they've had their moments, haven't they? We've scored 2 of our 3 on target, so it's not like it's been maybe completely as dominant as it maybe feels like it has. So let's try demand more. It's frustrated 1 or 2, but we have got a highlight. Lacko, Sanchez, Alvarez. Come on, boys. There's not many Croatians in the team right now, is there? I think we're just going through that spell where... oh, that's been missed to everybody. Mazzoleni has it all. Mazzoleni. I'm just looking at the team. Is there any Croatians? Von Groningen is actually a Croatian, despite the name. So there's 1. Which is not great, in truth. I do like to try and have some of sort of a core of homegrown players. Even in Iceland, we managed to do that. But it's not quite happening here, is it? Ball forward. Header away. Montel, but it's picked up again. Golvia. Nice ball for Mazzoleni. Not quite, but Von Groningen has it. Von Groningen for Lacko. Is he onside this time? He's got to square it back. Mazzoleni can't miss. The referee is trotting back. He's got his hand to his ear. I'm sure they're just saying, that's a goal, mate. Let it stand. And it's 3-0. Midway through the second half. And Villarreal, for a La Liga side, look a little bit at sea here. Lacko did well. Just sucked in all the defenders. There was no one in the middle. And that's one of those I think I could have scored. I mean, it wasn't offside. He was behind the ball, clearly. So we'll give them some praise. And yeah, like I say, that should be that. Is anybody tied? We've got bookings from, or a booking from Monsalvo. There's an argument to say get the booking off the field, isn't there? The one thing we don't need is a sending off, so Skolaba can come on for him. Monsalvo's probably okay, but he does get a lot of bookings, so that's where the concern comes from there. Sanchez. Back from Monsalvo. Butchman. Don't get caught. He doesn't. He does well. Torres. Torres for Montel. For Mazzoleni. In again. It's a really good dinky finish. And I think, well, it's been given, so he is onside, and it's 4-0. And it is at this point a decimation of Villarreal. And anytime you can tear apart a La Liga side in the Champions League, you know you're doing well. Yeah, I mean, they're defending like we do in the league. Goalkeeper, oh, he did really well, the goalkeeper, didn't he? But Mazzoleni just got a toe to it first. And it is 4-0. I thought we might... Oh, Torres has got a knock, so we'll take him off for Kovacic. Which is fine. Holt must have played a game for his fitness, because he looks quite tired. Luckily, we haven't needed him for a long time here. Come on, boys. Can we go and get a 5th? It would be very nice to keep a clean sheet if we could do it. But really, I mean, it's like watching... I mean, it is literally 2 different teams, I suppose. But, I mean, even Pinter in the last one just looked terrible. And here he is, 10 minutes away or so from a clean sheet, which she is not going to get. So Villarreal do pull one back. It was Govia's missed interception. I wonder if we go with someone a little bit more midfield-minded. We'll get Zinko on, who didn't play in the league either. And yeah, just someone that's going to sit in there and be a little bit more midfieldery. Let's just praise them. We're doing fine. We're doing absolutely fine. Hopefully, well, we don't want to concede another one now, guys. Come on. Can Mazzoleni get a foot in there? Not quite. Ball over the top. Easy for Pinter, that one. And where does this go now? Look at Sanchez. Look at Sanchez. He goes for Butchman. That's fine. Butchman to Montel. Montel runs into a bit of space. Zinko gets it wide there for Von Groningen. He gets it forward for Lacko. Can Lacko pick out Mazzoleni again? He goes for Zinko instead. Zinko off the bench onto the score sheet, and it's 5-1. Well, that was a nice goal too, wasn't it? But Zinko timed his run beautifully. And he was picked out to perfection as well. Nice. That goes so good, isn't he? We did get a few bids from bigger teams coming in for him, but he was happy to stay, so we're not going to sell him. Unlike Bertic, Lacko is looking like he is going to be a professional footballer his entire career, not just for 6 months. I think that's the disappointing thing about Bertic, isn't it? When he first joined, he looked so good. He looked so good, and then he just, I don't know what happened. He got that injury, and it's like he never came back from it. So it'd be interesting to see, because he's at Derby now, and I can't remember if they're Championship or Premier League. But it will be interesting to see what happens with his career from here, if he does sort of go on to do great things, or if he, just is a bit of a sulk that has all the ability. As there's another goal that's gone in now, that is annoying. I'll be honest. What's happened here? We've got 2-on-2 in the middle, and Skolova's just missed it. So that's not great. So the last 10 minutes have been a bit scrappy, haven't they? But we'd sort of already won the game before then, so if you're going to be scrappy, you might as well do it then. But that is a absolutely stunning start to the Champions League. A 5-2 win at home against Villarreal. And if we can clean ourselves up defensively, we're going to cause a few shocks, I think, in Europe. So there we go. We have 3 points from 3. Only 5 teams managed to win on that opening Tuesday. Obviously, there's going to be Wednesday games as well. But for us, that's a very, very good start against, well, what could be a solid team. We'll have to sort of see how Villarreal's campaign goes and see if that was actually a very good result. Or, perhaps you did take us for granted, did you? Well, that's a mistake. And just kind of see if it is a good result, or maybe they're not a great team and they're not going to get many points. But we'll have to see on that one. Lacko was very, very good. And guys, that will do it for that. If you've enjoyed it, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. We'll be back. Home game against Dinamo Zagreb. And then it is AC Milan. Are they the defending champions, or did they lose the final? They are the defending champions. So we'll go to the home of the defending champions and see. We'll see exactly how good we are, I suppose, won't we? Until then, guys, take care.